The archive flames danced in Captain Elena Vasquez's eyes as she watched humanity's recorded history turn to ash. 3,000 years of human achievement, struggle, and triumph, reduced to glowing embers floating through the vacuum of space. "They're thorough," muttered Lieutenant Commander Hayes, his weathered face illuminated by the destruction outside their cloaked observation vessel. "Every major repository, every backup facility, every digital archive across 17 systems, gone." The Galactic Council's purge had been swift and methodical. In the span of 72 hours, the combined fleets of 8 alien species had systematically destroyed every trace of humanity's past. Their justification was simple. Humans were too dangerous to be remembered. Better to let them fade into cosmic obscurity than risk inspiring future generations with their reckless heroism and irrational defiance of natural order. Elena's jaw tightened as she recalled the Council's proclamation. The human tendency toward self-sacrifice and impossible victories threatens the stability of our carefully maintained galactic peace. Their history must be erased and their colonies relocated to ensure they never again inspire the universe with their unpredictable nature. "Captain," came the voice of Dr. Sarah Chen from the communication station. "We're receiving the final transmission from Archive Station 7. The recording crackled to life, filled with static and the sound of dying systems. An elderly human voice spoke with quiet dignity. "This is Archivist Marcus Webb. The Council ships have breached our defenses. In accordance with Protocol Omega, we are transmitting the Phoenix package to all designated receivers. Remember us not as we fall, but as we lived. Tell them we were here." The transmission cut to silence. Elena closed her eyes, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. The Phoenix package, humanity's final gambit. Hidden aboard 73 ships like theirs, scattered across the galaxy, lay the real treasure. Not just historical records, but the living memory of what made humanity special. "Set course for the Kepler Junction," Elena commanded. "It's time to remind the galaxy why they feared us in the first place." The journey took 6 days. During that time, Elena's crew prepared for what many considered a suicide mission. They weren't soldiers. They were librarians, historians, teachers, and storytellers. But they carried something more powerful than any weapon: the truth. The Kepler Junction was the galaxy's busiest trade hub, where representatives from 47 species conducted business under the watchful eye of Council peacekeepers. It was also where the Council would announce humanity's voluntary relocation to the Outer Rim, a lie that would become official history. Elena's ship dropped out of hyperspace directly above the station's central plaza. Before the Council ships could react, her crew activated the Phoenix Protocol. Every screen, every display, every communication device within 100,000 kilometers suddenly blazed to life with humanity's story. The Battle of Thermopylae played across trade negotiation screens. The liberation of Auschwitz flickered on navigation displays. The first moon landing illuminated the corridors of alien vessels. But it wasn't just the victories. They showed the failures too. The struggles, the times humanity fell and got back up. "Attention, Galactic Council," Elena's voice boomed across every communication channel. "You tried to erase our history, but you made one fatal error. You assumed our greatest strength lay in our past achievements. You were wrong." The images shifted. Now they showed not ancient history, but the last 72 hours. Humans across the galaxy, faced with the complete destruction of their heritage, had done the impossible. Teachers had memorized entire textbooks. Children had recorded their grandparents' stories. Artists had painted their civilization's greatest moments from memory alone. "Our greatest strength," Elena continued, "isn't what we've done. It's what we do when everything is taken from us. You erased our libraries, but we became living books. You destroyed our monuments, but we carry their meaning in our hearts. You tried to silence our story, but we are the story." The Council ships opened fire, but it was too late. Elena's broadcast had reached relay stations across 12 sectors. Other Phoenix ships were activating their protocols. The truth was spreading faster than they could stop it. On trading stations and frontier colonies, In the depths of mining facilities and aboard diplomatic vessels, beings who had never heard of humanity were witnessing something unprecedented. They watched a species refuse to disappear quietly into the void. But the most powerful moment came when the transmission showed what was happening right then, in real time. Across the galaxy, humans were writing. On cave walls and metal bulkheads, in digital messages and hand-carved tablets, they were recreating their history from memory. Not just the facts, the spirit behind them. A child on Proxima Station carved the words "We were here" into a support beam before evacuation. A teacher on Tau Ceti composed humanity's story as a song, teaching it to her alien students. An old soldier on the Outer Rim burned humanity's greatest battle victories into his very skin. Elena's ship shuddered under Council weapons fire, but her transmission continued. You want to know why you fear us? It's not because we're warriors, though. We are. It's not because we're clever, though we can be. You fear us because when you try to erase us, we write ourselves in fire across the stars. The ship's hull began to fail, but Elena wasn't finished. To every human listening to this, remember, to every alien who witnesses this day, you've seen what we do when cornered. Judge for yourselves whether the galaxy is safer without us. The transmission ended as Elena's ship exploded in a brilliant flash that could be seen from the station's observation decks. But the damage was done. Within hours, black market dealers were selling copies of the Phoenix transmissions. Within days, alien species were studying human history with fascination rather than fear. Within weeks, the first protests began, not just from humans, but from other species who had seen something in humanity's defiant final broadcast that resonated with their own suppressed desires for freedom. The Council had tried to erase humanity's history. Instead, they had made it legend. And in the depths of space, 72 other ships continued broadcasting, ensuring that the galaxy would never forget the species that refused to be forgotten. The ones who, when faced with extinction, wrote their legacy in fire across the whole cosmos. They had tried to silence humanity's voice. Instead, they had given it eternal echo.